honey, it is cheesecake day. Now I have to admit, I wasn't always the biggest cheesecake fan. I always found them a little too dense and overwhelming until I made no-bake cheesecakes and my whole world changed. I was shook. They're so much lighter and fluffier and smoother, and after making my first no-bake cheesecake, I never went back. So I'm gonna be incorporating my favorite candy, peanut butter cups, into an extreme peanut butter cup cheesecake. It is, I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. It's that good. So to get started, we're gonna get this crust made, and I'm gonna have my springform pan here just ready on the side because we're gonna be pressing the crust into it. This is a 12-inch springform pan. It's more shallow. So if you have like an 8 or 9-inch that's deeper, that's totally fine. But to get this crust made, I have some graham crackers here that I crushed in my food processor. You can do it by hand as well. I used 2 sleeves of graham crackers that I got nice and crushed there. And I like to flavor this crust. Just because it's the base doesn't mean it has to be basic. It was so bad. To this, I'm gonna be adding a pinch of salt. And because there's peanut butter and chocolate going on, I want to put a little bit of cocoa powder in the crust as well. And I'm gonna get these stirred together first. And you'll notice that my graham crackers are pretty roughly crushed. I don't like them completely pulverized. I like a variety of chunks in here. So to this, I'm adding a stick or half a cup of unsalted butter. I just melted it in the microwave. And we're gonna get this stirred together here. We're gonna get this pressed into our pan. You wanna do this first because we're gonna bake this for about 10 minutes just to help it set. So I'm going to just use my hands here to press this crust evenly into my springform pan. You do not need to grease or line the springform pan. You can if you want to, but you don't need to. And I'm just gonna make sure there's an even thickness around the base, and then I'm gonna build up the sides just a little bit. And the key to knowing that your crust is good is that it's not crumbly and it's staying where it is. If it crumbles and seems dry, then you need more melted butter, but as long as you follow the 2 sleeves of crushed crackers with the 1 stick of melted butter, I find that it's always worked for me. So that looks great. This is just gonna go in a 350 Fahrenheit oven for about 10 minutes. While it's baking, we're gonna get the filling going for this. So no-bake cheesecake filling is quite different than traditional cheesecake because there are no eggs. Since it's not being baked, there's not gonna be any eggs in this. It actually sets with whipped cream, which also helps it become as light, silky, and smooth as it is. So I have 3 blocks or 24 ounces of completely softened cream cheese. I left it out overnight to make sure it was really soft because it needs to be really smooth. If you're starting with cold cream cheese, it's gonna take you a lot longer to mix to make sure it's totally smooth and there are no more lumps. You can do this in a stand mixer. I'm gonna use my hand mixer for this, just a nice large bowl. And I'm just gonna beat this for a few minutes on a medium-high speed to make sure it's really smooth. And she is looking great. So I'm just gonna scrape this down real quick. And I'm gonna be adding in some creamy peanut butter with about half a cup. You don't want it to be too strongly flavored as peanut butter because the tanginess of the cream cheese is really important. So just a nice peanut butter flavor. Gonna get that mixed in, and then we're gonna go in with a pinch of salt, some vanilla extract, as well as our granulated sugar. And as always, the full written recipe with metrics included will be on my website. The link is below in the description. So we're gonna go in with our granulated sugar, vanilla, and salt. Give this another lovely mix until very smooth. Well, this is a first. My damn beater just broke. KitchenAid, what are you doing? Good thing I am done mixing with that. So here's the thing that makes no-bake cheesecake what it is I have a cup of cold heavy cream that I whipped to stiff peaks like whipped cream consistency. So what we do is we fold this into the cream cheese mixture, it lightens it up, and then as it chills, it sets like that. So I'm just adding that into our lovely cream cheese mixture here. And then with my spatula, just gently fold this together till you get a beautiful, silky, smooth mixture. When it is completely combined and it's beautiful, light and fluffy like this, it's time to fold in our peanut butter cups. So I have some mini peanut butter cups that I just chopped into quarters, and I'm gonna add about a cup of those in here. I'm gonna save some for the top of the cheesecake, but we definitely want a nice abundance of chopped peanut butter cups in the center of the filling. So I'm gonna get these folded in here. So I'm gonna set this in the fridge while we wait on the crust to finish up. So since this is a peanut butter cup cheesecake, I wanna really make each part of the candy shine. I don't wanna just fold them into the cheesecake and call it a day. I want the whole thing to be really flavored after the candy. Between the peanut butter filling and the crust, there's gonna be this surprise little chocolate ganache layer. And it's really simple. I just heat heavy cream in the microwave until it comes to a simmer. I have finely chopped semi-sweet chocolate in my bowl here, and I simply just pour the hot cream over the chocolate, and I let it sit for about 1 minute undisturbed. And this helps melt the chocolate without burning it, because if you burn it or overheat it, it can separate, or that's what we call seizing, is when the fat kind of separates from the chocolate and then it just hardens into this disgusting mass. So you can do this over a double boiler if you want to. This is just a quicker, easier way to do it. But it's been about a minute here, so I'm just gonna start in the center and kind of gently stir. In just a little bit, it'll start coming together. And once you see that, you can just start widening your stirs a little bit. So this is a great thing to keep in mind, because ganache, as you've seen, it's very quick and easy to put together, but elevates so many different desserts. So if you want to take anything to the next level, just make a little bit of ganache. So what I'm gonna do is, I have my baked crust. It is all the way cool. And I'm gonna pour this ganache on the crust here. And I'm just gonna use my spoon to gently spread it around evenly, so this whole bottom layer of the crust is nice and coated with that beautiful ganache. So I'm gonna pop this back in the freezer for just a couple minutes to help that set. All right, so it is time to get this assembled. But now that we've got our cooled crust and ganache there, we're going to put this gorgeous filling on top. And we're just gonna gently spread it around evenly. And I'm just gonna take my frosting knife here and kind of just smooth this out so that this top layer is really nice and flat and smooth. Now we play the waiting game. This is gonna go in the fridge for a minimum of 5 hours, just because it needs to set up. Obviously, if you try and cut into it right now, she ain't gonna cut. She's gonna go everywhere. So 5 hours covered with plastic in the fridge, and you're gonna have one amazing cheesecake. So I checked the cheesecake, it is pretty much ready. So we're gonna make the whipped cream to go on top and get this baby finished. Whipped cream, very simple. It is cream that is whipped. We're gonna sweeten it though. So I've got a half a cup of cold heavy cream. Cold cream whips up a lot quicker and easier than room temperature, so I would recommend it being chilled. And then I have a tablespoon of granulated sugar and some vanilla extract as well. And we're just gonna beat this up until it is stiff peaks. And I have my gorgeous cheesecake here. Now, like I said, I used a larger springform pan, so it's not as tall. If you use an 8 or 9 inch, it'll be thicker, don't worry. But I mean, I love how you can see the layers, the crust, the ganache, and the filling, and you can see the chopped peanut butter cups in there. Honey, this is going to be a knockout. So let's just get this whipped cream nice and piped on there. I pretty much do it like this. And I'm just going to kind of place these chopped peanut butter cups around the center, inside that ring of piped whipped cream. All right, I think she's done. This crust is holding together beautifully, and look at that. That deserves a pat on the back right there. As always, the written recipe for this is on my website. The link for that is in the description, along with the link to my cookbook. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, leave me some comments down below, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And until next time, this is Bake It with AJ. I could honestly cry. Oh my God, it's so good.